Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is Breaking Prisms, where we go over Black Mirror, which is done. Go check it out. Where we go over the Twilight Zone. Not done, but it's out there. Go check that out. And today we're going over Love, Death, and Robots, episode 11, called Helping Hand. It is also November 7th.
Yay! Look at you remembering all that stuff.
I know it's hard. I have notes too. Help. That's wonderful. Top level summary on this one. Whoo! It's How
do you top level it?
In space fixing satellite.
Yes.
Things go wrong. That is the level. That's 90% of the episode without spoiling the end.
Pretty much, whenever you think of anything in space, this is an episode about it.
Pretty much, because this always seems to happen.
Yes.
There's always that one tiny piece of shrapnel. It's like, oh, it messed things up.
Yeah.
We're screwed.
Asteroid.
So, yes. So, first off, CG, insane. It is really, really, really good. Granted, they only have one person to work with this episode, so they didn't have to focus on a bunch of different people, a bunch of different things. There's one girl strictly to focus on.
Yes. So one human, which if you caught our last episode, which is Shapeshifters, we mentioned that CGI on human beings, tough, especially with lots of them.
Yes,
so if you only have one to focus on...
It was the worst looking aspect of that episode. Yeah. Even though the episode itself looked really good, the human portion of them was like, a little rough around the edges.
Yes. This one, however, they could literally put all their sole attention into this one woman. So down to the little tiny freckles. Whew, she's
looks
beautiful.
Really good. Weirdly enough, when you think about human CG, I think the best human CG we've ever seen in anything to ever exist. You know, I hate this episode, or hate the movie, but it still has some of the best CG to ever be seen. Was it? God, I think it's The Last Jedi. Yeah, it's The Last Jedi. Tarkin in The Last Jedi.
Don't remember. Yeah, don't remember.
You remember the bad guy? Literally the bad guy of the movie.
I try to forget things.
He was like 100. He was CG, and he looked phenomenal. But CG is so hard on humans because we know, as just people looking at other people, generally what things look like, especially when they start moving. And he looked great, and then when he started speaking stuff, like okay, he is CG. But I think they got a person to stand in. They did a ton of CG.
Yeah.
It looked insanely like the actor, and it was super well done. But I think it was some of the best example we've seen in CG. But that is a Star Wars movie with hundreds of millions of dollars sunk into it. And this was a 10-minute short with, I guarantee, nowhere remotely the budget. But she looked great. She looks really, really, really good.
She looks amazing. And even like the opening scene, which is just the Earth. Like the Earth, and then you can see the satellite kind of floating. But most of it, it's just the Earth. And just slowly being illuminated. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful sight to behold.
We only ever get 2 voices in this episode.
Yes.
Which, I mean, it's funny only in the aspect of, in the very beginning, still very beginning, them making comments about, like, oh, why send 2 people when you can send 1?
Yes.
Because this episode. That's why.
Yeah. So yes,
because it's better to have 2 people there, just in case.
So within a short amount of time, you pretty much learn that just like the rest of the world, this space company or whoever employs them
cutting costs
is cutting costs by cutting workforce.
Because that's what everyone seems to be doing these days. Because that's just, why not? Why not?
So, yeah, just get rid of as many people as you can, but still put on the same workload. And no overtime.
No overtime. Don't you dare think about overtime. So yeah, she looks great. She gets her little spacesuit on. We got into space to fix the satellite.
Yes. So, top level, beautiful. Voice acting's great.
Yeah, I mean, she's great.
The CGI, like even just the motion, as little as we do get, is still really good.
The thing about this episode, it is so short.
Yes.
It is 10 minutes long. It feels like 5 minutes. not a lot happens.
No.
I mean, it tells what it wants to tell and the time that it has, but not a lot happens.
Yeah, this almost seems like a cutscene, or like literally only one tiny section out of an entire movie.
Yes, because it could be. It's so short.
Yes.
But still, really good. Does tell the story. We get her character. We get why they're here. We get what's going on. We get some little extra from their little banter in the very beginning. And then this episode is super intense.
Yes. So, before we go any further, what is our rating today?
We decided, just because we enjoyed the episode quite a bit, that we could just knock one little tiny itty-bitty microscopic cube off of here.
It's like literally a chip off a cube at this point.
But we knocked a cubie off, so 4 companion cubes out of 5.
And mostly, oddly enough, besides spoilers, anything like that, probably the biggest thing is it's just how short it is.
Yeah, more this episode than I think any other episode we've talked about. We've talked about the issue of some of the episodes being short, being a little bit issue. A little bit, just because you just don't get enough of the world.
Yeah.
This one's more apparent than any episode we've watched.
Yes.
If there is an issue with the episode, is it we really did need more time with these characters.
Yeah. Especially with everything that happens, we need to feel bonded.
A little more than what we got.
Yeah. But in order to fully talk about this, we'll have to go into spoilers. So please, please go watch this episode.
Yes, go check it out. It's very, very good and very, very short. So.
Yes. Adult-wise, I would say maybe language and violence.
It's hard to even say that. It's mini. It's
yeah,
minuscule.
it's very minimal. But I still probably wouldn't suggest you hand this to your kid. But like teenagers, this isn't going to bother them. Not that much.
The thing is, I don't think a kid would be very interested in this episode.
Yeah. Space.
That's all you got, really. So I don't think they find it entertaining, but
No.
it also, this is one of the much more mild episodes of everything we've watched, as far as violence, as far as language, as far as nudity, as far as all the above. It's just almost none of it in here at all. Yeah. So it's very simple, very basic.
So go.
Go check it out. It's only 10 minutes. Come back, check out spoilers.
And
we're going to spoilers again. Too short.
Yes.
We literally don't build enough time. Maybe give us an extra... Make it a 17-minute episode like some of the other ones we've had. Yeah. Give us 4 more minutes of her going up to the satellite. Of her banter with the guy, the only other person we hear on the episode.
Yeah.
Anything that gets more connected to who this person is, what's going on, a little bit more world building.
You could literally be... Even if you wanted to do something like have her go to the satellite and have something else like minor happen. Like... just something small happen to where it's like, oh no, and it builds tension, and then you think the worst is over, and then that's when the worst actually happens. And
then maybe instead of skipping from 15 to 2,
yes,
we get a little bit more of her trying to recover or figure something out before giving up.
Yes, because it goes from, okay, I'm floating in space, okay, my oxygen tank is at 15 minutes, I've already said my goodbyes.
She didn't really have anyone to say goodbye to. It's like, okay, my pack's been hit, all systems compromised, and oxygen down to 15 minutes. You say you won't be here for almost an hour.
You're not going to make it click.
So we're screwed. And I'm not going to sit here and argue about this with you because there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Because logically, there isn't.
No.
I mean, there really wasn't something she could do. This is, what is that movie? 27 Hours?
Oh, where he's got
his
stuck
arm
in the rocks?
stuck in a rock?
Yeah.
This is like desperate last thing you could possibly... Stuff normal people aren't going to do.
No. Sorry, for some reason you said 27 Hours, and I of course thought of that movie, but then it reminded me of the movie that... Is it Ryan Reynolds? He or someone else is in one where they're buried alive. You don't remember that one? Like he's literally locked in a box, and he has like communication, I think, to the outside world, but no one can find him because he doesn't know where he is.
Let's go with no. But I don't know. Nope.
That one was pretty intense too. But anyways.
Yes, this reminds me of that. This is something only a severely desperate person would even think about doing. And even then, I don't think most normal people would do it. I think they just die.
Pretty much. Just float off. Maybe. That's it. Just go.
Because this is not the normal thing you think about.
It's one of those things, and see, that's the short thing. It's like, I want to know what their training was. I want to know if anything has happened like this before. Like, I want to know if
I would assume not on the premise that they probably wouldn't send one person if it is something that's happened like this before.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as, like, there was a crash and only one person survived kind of situation, and they survived by doing this. Like, I just want to know where she even stemmed the idea from.
What we need the ideas, not a crash like that. What we need is like, hey, up in space, there's no gravity. Like your space training. But you can propel off of things. So it's maybe like using like their tools and stuff to throw or something. That's where the idea stemmed from. And the only thing she had was her glove. Like her arm piece. Yeah. And this is where things get intense. This is where we really start building. Because when you gotta take you in space, it cold in space. It real cold in space. And you gotta take off the glove to expose your flesh. Space.
Yes, so she pretty much uses the actual life support watch as a tourniquet, ties it up here, and then proceeds to just casually take her glove off. To which she's screaming because she's freezing.
Her arm is freezing.
Freezing.
Solid.
Like, even before she gets the glove off, her hand is already, like, rigid in a grasping.
Okay, well, see, what I said earlier, remember the temperature I said?
Yeah.
That was in Celsius.
Okay.
It is minus 454 degrees in space.
Goodbye, hand.
454 degrees! Oh my god!
Wow. So yes, freezing your arm off, literally.
Holy crap!
So she throws her glove to propel herself backwards.
I'm still processing. That's insane.
Just makes you feel for her a little more, but it would have been even cool to actually see that. Like, see that anywhere in her ship or something, like the temperature outside.
How cold? Yeah.
Yeah, that would have
been a cool little detail.
Yeah. Been like, oh, okay, like even for it to pop up on her monitor, like temperature around you or something.
Really would have no reason to. I mean, it's not like you plan on going through a Sunday stroll in space. So it's not generally no, you shouldn't be outside your suit no matter what in any circumstance. You don't really need to know. And they probably learned that in training, so it doesn't fluctuate.
Either way.
Just saying, it would have been cool to see. Probably would have made a lot of sense to see it, but it would have been cool.
Yes.
I guess it would have been made more sense if maybe by chance he would have still been on the comms when she decided to try to do this.
Yeah.
He's like, you're crazy. It's like minus 400 degrees out there.
Yeah.
That would have been way worked.
Yes. So either way, she, of course, throws the glove, propels herself away, and, of course, the worst possible situation can happen.
She misses. She misses. Literally, your only hope. You took off your glove. You're down one arm now, because that's frozen like a rock. And you missed.
And it's not like you can go, oh, well, I have another glove, because
no!
What are you going to reach with? What are you going to throw with? Like,
exactly. You're down one arm. Do you take off a boot next? Do we freeze a foot? What's the goal?
So, well, actually, I'm wondering.
I don't know. There's climbing and moving and trying to get back in. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to lose another limb, personally.
So you'd rather rip one off? I mean...
And then we come down to the circumstance like, oh, you are now officially out of oxygen. This is it. You're done. You're out of time. To which, like, you know what? It's already a useless thing. Let's rip it off.
So...
Which is just downright brutal.
She literally just grips and starts turning and turning and turning, and you can
She gets her
see,
knee up there and starts leveraging it.
and you can just see things moving and shifting, and she's screaming, and then you hear a crisp, just crack. Like, it's like the flesh and stuff is the stuff that's cracking, because the bone doesn't at first. Like, you hear it crack, and everything's still kind of attached, and then she just rips.
It's brutal.
Yes.
It is brutal. Just, it's not even gory. It's just brutal. Oh my God, it's brutal.
Like, just the entire scene, like, her taking off the glove, you're, like, on the edge of your seat. And then when you realize what she's going to do, because she's staring at her arm, you're like, I know what the episode was about. I don't need to go there.
But we go there. So, she gets herself in her hand, and we try again.
Yes.
And it cleverly and funnily cuts. We shoot, she's spinning, coming towards it, she's reaching out, and then we cut black. Yes. And it's like, imagine if the episode ended like that. Like, legitimately
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, no, don't you do this to me. I would have been like 3.
Getting no resolution would have been terrible. But we do cut back, and we're inside the ship.
Yes.
And we don't see her at all. We see the back of the seat. We see which I don't know why they chose to use the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
For the logo. I mean, it could have been a hand.
Yeah.
It's called Helping Hand. And then we slowly, I think we hear her first, and then we pan around to the side of the seat.
I think so. Yeah, because you see, I think it's like a shift. You see like part of something in the chair, but still it could have been something just floating around, and then you hear, and you're like, ah.
So she lived. She got in. She looks rough. Eyes are bloodshot red. It's like, okay, she's been through something. She's wrapped up her arm. It's got blood on the end of it. She's got some specialty thing going on here.
It's like, it looks like a specialized tourniquet, and then of course she has some kind of monitoring system on, I assume, to make sure she's still alive.
But I mean, this is very, very, a lot of this is future tech. Yeah. These are different types of suits, they're a different type of ship, different type of everything.
But what you can tell, and it's actually kind of a cool detail, especially if you remember the conversation from earlier, it's futuristic tech, but it's almost like I wouldn't say the cheapo version, but like you could tell that maybe this was once again not the most high quality place to work for. Like, everything wasn't pristine. It looked like a well-lived-in ship, and
it looks like a job.
Yes.
Which which makes sense. Again, it looks like a future job.
Yes.
This is future tech. This is a future job. This is going up. This is simpler. This isn't actual astronauts getting sent into space. Yeah. Like super official government astronauts getting into space. This is more of a type of job. It seems like, at least that's what I'm going with. Yeah. I'm gathering from this.
As I said, everything, everything, especially like the interior, looked a little weathered. So you can tell that, especially how they're talking about their workplace, that this is...
It looks like something we would see in our anime. Yeah. Any of the anime we watch. Yeah. It takes place in space, like Cowboy Bebop or something. This is more routine-ish than couple men and a giant rocket sent by official NASA to send into space to fix this.
Or most, like, pristine ships you see on, like, Star Trek and stuff.
Yeah. This is... So, but in the end, very cool episode. Very well done. Very, very intense.
Yes. That got most of my points right there, is because I was, like, freaking out.
It's brutal. It's brutal to watch this happen. But, again, the only real detriment to the episode is that we could have used more. A little more context to almost everything at this point. To kind of just give us the feel just a little bit more for this character. So we feel a lot worse for her when she rips her arm off.
Oh, yeah. Now we're just like, okay, lady. Whatever gave you that idea. Good luck.
So, but still very cool, very enjoyable. So, as we said before, nice 4 out of 5.
Yay!
Very good. Love Death of Robots. Proves over and over and over again, in my opinion, they know what they're doing. Very good.
Let us know what you guys think about this episode. If you enjoyed it, if you had problems with it for any reason, or if you are like, why did you not give it a 5? What is wrong with you people?
Or you gave it way too high because we like, okay, it was interesting, but come on, people. You deserve a 4. So why might say that, okay?
What do you think I just said?
You said, why didn't you give it a 5?
Yes.
I'm saying, why did you give it a 4 instead of a 3? You rated it too high, not high enough.
Okay.
Some people may not enjoy it as much as we did. I'm personally going to enjoy the next few episodes. Something about a fish. Fish Night, I think it's called.
Yes.
And
Zima.
Lucky 13 and Zima.
Yeah.
Which are, I think, all really good episodes. And completely different from each other in every way. And completely different than what we just watched.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be really cool. I like the next few. We're going to have some good acting, some good jobs. Zima. I'm interested in Zima. I'm interested for you to see Zima. Or Zima Blue, not just Zima. Zima Blue. So, and the fishy one. Fishies. All the fishies. But, as always, you can reach me at Stars on Travel. Reach Amanda at KZ Pop. Reach the show at Beyond Our Focus. Everywhere, including YouTube podcast services around the globe.
In space. Just wave us down with your frozen
We already
arm.
know it's not on the other planets, okay?
We could be in the space
told
in
us
between,
they weren't there.
okay? We could be making our way up there. Someone's waving at us with their frozen arm.
And that would be interesting. Any final thoughts about this fancy episode?
I would feel so bad, you guys, if you were in space, your arm was frozen, and the only thing coming through on your little helmet was our podcast.
That would be horrible. That'd be so bad.
Okay, that's my final note. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
guys.
That's being terrible. Till next time. Long days and pleasant nights.